Lilac Kitty has all types of Reddit stories that will make you think, cry and laugh. Only real stories.
I scandalized my ex-fiancé by sharing inappropriate pictures he had of young women in his family, and his familial relationship is currently completely ruined. To give some context, I have known my ex-fiancé for 10 years. Our relationship wasn't perfect. We faced many trust issues, mostly on his part. He made countless mistakes and had so much disregard for me and my feelings, time and boundaries. But I kept giving him chances to redeem himself simply because I loved him so much and still wanted us to work no matter what. He's cheated on me multiple times. Due to his work nature, he traveled a lot, and his recent affair was in 2019. He had an affair with 19-year-old Asian girl. I found out via pictures and videos he saved on his work laptop that I was forbidden to touch. I just had a hunch he was being unfaithful because of how his behavior changed. But I was dumb and foolish to let it go and give him another chance to redeem himself. I discovered a pattern with the type of girls he is attracted to, and they are all around 18 to 20. He kept apologizing, saying he's a changed man. Heck, he even went to therapy with me, but in the past months our relationship went downhill again. This time I didn't discover any cheating, but came across a folder on his new laptop that had screenshots of the bathroom camera that I didn't know about in our house that captured some of his young family members, both his nieces, 17 and 19, and his cousin who's 20, which was an utter shock for me. I felt nothing but hate and disgust for him right that moment. I confronted him about it, and he explained it was a camera folder and it was the camera that took those screenshots, and he didn't know the camera was even working and told me to check, and we'll probably find that it caught him too, but I didn't buy it at all because he looked so guilty it wasn't funny. I had a huge fight with him and called him hurtful names and just let all of my anger out on him. I've moved past the cheating, the lies, the sleepless nights worrying about him and wondering if he was okay when he was goofing around and playing me for a fool, telling me tens of fabricated alibis. I've put up with his absence emotionally. There was a time where I felt I was just going through the motions with him. I've wasted 10 tasteless, depressing and exhausting years for nothing. The final straw was him keeping screenshots of his young female family members on his laptop, which was sickening, and it made my feelings do a 180 turn. I broke off the engagement for the third and last time and moved out. He kept trying to manipulate me into coming back and lied to his family, who came to guilt me for throwing a 10-year-old relationship over whatever he told them. I wasn't going to share the reason I decided to break it off, but he literally sent his family as an attempt to pressure me. I sat with JIS mother, aunts and uncle and explained everything to them. They didn't believe me, so I shared the pictures I found, which triggered a huge reaction on their part. I didn't know what happened exactly, but later found out that my ex was attacked by the family. They all turned against him and kept fighting with him as he tried to justify and explain himself. He was cut off and shunned by them all. He was furious and kept harassing me on social media, calling me every bad name you can think of. He said I should have just left, but I was being petty and pathetic to blackmail him and share his personal possessions and ruining his reputation of his relationship with his family with false, sick accusations. He even threatened police involvement for what I did. He's attacking my family, trying to turn them against me, claiming I was lying, framing him to look bad because he didn't give me half the attention I gave him and didn't love me like I owed him, and that I was petty, looking to get revenge after he no longer showed interest in continuing this toxic relationship. A lot of people said I was indeed being petty and should have left instead of turning my ex's family against, whether those were false accusations or not. I feel awful. I regret it now because of the impact it had on me. I'm incapable of healing and moving on, not only because I still want him back and I hate it, but because at this point the bridge is forever burned. Fiancé is still in love with his ex and I'm pregnant. My fiancé is my first love, but I'm not his. I didn't know that. I think when you're very, very in love with someone, you just assume they feel that way about you. He never seemed inattentive to me. I always felt he really got me and loves me more than anything in the world. I got pregnant, we got engaged. Today I found texts from him to his ex, saying he's never felt the way he did with her again and she's the only woman he's really loved. They've been texting for a while, but weirdly enough, none of their texts read as emotional affair to me besides that part. I confronted him and he told me that he cares about me but he has no passion for me. He enjoys the time we spend together and he loves me but he's just not in love with me. He made it clear the texts weren't him trying to pick her back up, just him venting before he's going to get married. I actually believe him because her response was receptive, but he told her he doesn't want that because I'm pregnant. He says he'll take care of me and the baby and he'll be a great husband the way he knows I'll be a great wife, and he'll still love me but not in that way. He says people say you should be with someone who's good for you and not someone you're crazily in love with. But I'm in love with him? I feel like I'm agreeing to marry a gay man in the 1950s. I feel like third place. I'm sorry this is more of a vent, but can I please have some advice? My husband just told me he's not coming back over text message. This morning, my husband 35M sent me a text message. I don't want to misinterpret it, so here is what exactly he said. I'm sorry, coming home I feel like I've woke up and felt the calling for what I need to do in life. This journey is something I need to do on my own. We were fine, but if I come back home, I would just cry until I wasn't homesick. I would always deep down know that I needed to listen to the calling and follow it. I want to separate it, I'm not coming back. He left on a trip to visit his family that he hasn't seen in a while. He's having fun, his social media is full of smiles. I am truly lost. We have a life across the country here. Everything is under his name. Why can't I come there? Why does his journey not include me, his wife 35F? We've always planned everything together and even talked about if anything bad were to happen, we would plan our exit together. Update, I am eternally grateful for you all. I am just in a shock right now. Reading all your comments are helping me understand a little more than I would have alone. Update number 2, he finally texted back. This ass has ignored all my calls and messages. Apparently once he makes arrangements, he will come back for one day to grab his stuff and go. He's insisting I take over our current lease. I can't afford this lease alone. Talking to a lawyer tomorrow. Okay, things have finally calmed down. Based on therapy and reading all your perspectives, I was finally ready to understand mentally that I needed to take care of myself and to proceed as if this wasn't going to work out. My husband finally called and we had a real conversation about us. I did my best to listen and let him fully explain his side. I caught him off guard with this approach. He admitted being stone cold to me because he did not want to lead me on or feel like there was a glimmer of hope for our marriage. He put up an emotional wall and explains why he's been so short with me. He thinks the love changed. We decided that I could have half of everything. I've known this man for 20 years. When we were friends, I've always had feelings for him and never initiated because I'm shy. During that time, he said and did the exact same thing before we got into a relationship. Word for word, action by action. A few weeks later we went for a walk just as friends. Where he stopped, sang to me and confessed to loving me this entire time. Now, I'm not saying history will repeat itself, but how he is handling this is quite jarring/coincidental. He clearly has communication issues to work on. I have my own communication issues as well, the difference being I've been going to therapy and have been trying to better myself for years. I know this is some sort of midlife crisis for him. Am I crazy to call him out on this? I'm trying to be careful because any time we text or speak, it feels like I'm pushing him away. One thing I know is to hope for the best, and right now proceed as if our relationship has a 0% chance of saving.